Alright, hey guys, today I am making some, well this morning actually, it's only 8:30. I'm going to make some Salisbury steaks now. The video I uploaded before this one, I'm only going to get to upload everything tomorrow, but I will have my grocery haul first, and then there was my day of prepping, which would have been yesterday. Well, the grocery haul was Friday, yesterday was the prepping day, and today on Sunday is when I'm actually doing up my ground beef. I was supposed to do it yesterday, but I was in the kitchen all day and I just didn't feel like doing it at the end of it, but I'm doing it this morning. Got some sausages and stuff like that cooking for breakfast, and I got some ham, and I'm gonna make breakfast after, but I figured I'm gonna deal with the ground beef first. So what I went ahead and did is I had a pack of hamburger, or ground beef, I call it hamburger, and I separated it. I separated it into kind of like four Salisbury steak patties. I could probably, yeah, no, once I mix all the ingredients in, I might get more than four, but I did four handfuls of beef there for the Salisbury steaks, and then I got two here that I'm just going to basically season up and freeze them flat in a bag, and then whenever we need them for something, I can pull them out of the freezer. But I just went ahead and chopped up my onions. I've got these tinier ones that I diced up. Those are going to go in to the Salisbury steaks. I might, if there's a couple left, I might put some in that as well. I chopped up my mushrooms, and then this is an onion, this is an onion, and this is almost a full container of mushrooms. I chopped these ones a little bit bigger. They're going to break down, but that's going to go with the mushrooms in my sauce. So basically I'm going to add a half a cup of milk, 1 egg, a bunch of spices, and some breadcrumbs possibly. I might omit the breadcrumbs depending when I get all my spices and that stuff in there, if it needs some binding, but if not, I'm going to try to keep them gluten-free. I had some kale last year, and I just dehydrated it and ground it up, and that's how much is left, and I just sneak that into dishes all the time. That was full, so every now and then when I make stuff, spaghetti sauces and things that I can hide them in, even scrambled eggs, just sprinkle a little bit of kale. Nobody ever knows. Of course, some salt, some pepper, some parsley. Turmeric has a lot of health benefits, so that's another thing that that was full as well, and I got that just not even maybe a month ago. I sneak that into all kinds of stuff as well. You can't go wrong with turmeric, and you can't really taste it. I don't find anyways. Garlic powder. And you can put whatever spices you guys want, but this is a beef concentrate, and I'm just going to basically add some of this in some water, and that's going to be my gravy base, and then I'm going to add a cornstarch slurry to that to thicken it up once everything's all kind of cooked up. So I'm going to go ahead and add my ingredients in here, and then I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so the mixture was a little bit wet, so I just went ahead and I had some celery powder and some cilantro powder and all that type of stuff, and just try to add some powders that I had grinded up to the mixture, and now it seems to be good. So I didn't have to add any breadcrumbs, so this will be gluten-free. I don't know, seems to be, I'm probably going to get more than 4 patties out of that since I added the eggs and my spices and all that stuff, so it seems to be able to work with that. So I'm going to go form some patties. I got my frying pan here on. I got it on 7. I like to kind of put them in and fry them quick on each side, probably like 2 minutes on each side. I don't want them cooked all the way through, but because they're going to continue to simmer in the sauce and cook up. And then I just dumped a bit of onions on each one of these, so I'm going to just I'm going to add some salt and pepper and some spices to these, and then just bind everything together and put it in two separate bags. So we will have two different ground beef options for meals in the freezer. So I will go see how many burgers I am going to get out of this. Alright, so I ended up with double than what I intended. I got 8 burgers instead of 4, so that's awesome. It'll be one extra meal of Salisbury steaks. I'm going to get those cooked up, and like I said, I'm just going to fry them like probably two minutes on each side, and then, or 2 minutes on one side, flip them for another 2 minutes, and then I will take them out, and all that yumminess that's going to be left in the bottom of the pan, I'm going to just basically use it to fry up my mushrooms and my onions, and it's going to taste really, really good. Okay, so I don't measure anything. Back here you can't really see it, but I added a little bit of this stuff and some water, and I'm just going to bring that to a little boil, and then I'll shut that off, and that's going to be the base for my gravy. Okay, so they are not cooked all the way through, but I'm going to take them off. They've cooked for 2 minutes on each side. Some of them need just a little bit longer because my pan is huge. And then you see all that goodness in the bottom. I'm going to throw my mushrooms and onions in with that. I'm going to turn my pan down so they don't burn. So I'm going to let those cook up, and then I will, when my gravy back here is done cooking, I'm going to add that in there, and eventually I'm going to put the burgers back in. So that looks about right to me. I don't measure anything, I don't time anything, that's just how I cook. But I don't want them cooked all the way through, obviously. And then my water is boiling, my broth is boiling back there, so I'm going to go ahead and add it, and then whatever's like caked at the bottom here will release, and it's going to taste really good. I'm probably not going to get it all added. Oh, maybe. There we go. So I'm just going to let this cook for a little bit, and then I'll add my burgers back in and just let it simmer for, I don't know, maybe 45 minutes-ish. Just enough the burgers will finish cooking up, and then at the end I will add my cornstarch and water mixture, and that will thicken this up really, really nice. And I will have a nice thick gravy. And then eventually, when everything cools down, I'm going to bag them up with the sauce in the bags, and they will be ready. Alright, so I'm just going to add my burgers back in there and let everything simmer together for, like I said, 45 minutes. And I'm thinking I might keep one of these out for dinner tonight. I'm not quite sure yet. So that's what it looks like. So I'm just mixing up some water and cornstarch right now, and I'm going to add that to my burgers here that are nicely cooking. They should be cooked by now. They've been in here for 45 minutes, and this should thicken it up nicely. Of course, I had to make a little bit of a mess. So I'm just gonna go and where's my there? Just mix it. And that should thicken up really nice. And then that should be done. Alright, there you go. It is nice and thickened up. Can't even barely see the burgers because it's nice and thick now, but it's a nice thick.
Looks good.
Yeah, it's going to be really good. So you could serve that over mashed potatoes, rice. You could have it just on its own. It'd probably be good on a burger too, like a nice sloppy Joe type of burger.
With the potatoes.
With potatoes, yeah. So there, that is some homemade Salisbury steaks. Alright, so just one final shot. There are the Salisbury steaks. And then I'm just going to top them with a couple mushrooms and onions. And you can just pour the gravy over top, but I just did this for the, just to show you guys. And then in here's all the gravy. Just give that a good mix, and I'm just going to go ahead. My son asked me for some for lunch, so I will probably just keep some out. I don't know if we're going to have it for lunch or supper because there's chili in the fridge that we could eat up, but I will keep 3 or 4 of them out for dinner tonight, and I'll bag up the rest, so I'll just put, I don't know how big my bags are, I might be able to get the 4 of them and then add the sauce in, seal it up whenever it's completely cooled, and shove that in my freezer, and we have a meal that's ready to go whenever we want it. So yeah, that is some homemade Salisbury steaks. Hopefully you guys like this video. Give it a thumbs up and leave a comment if you think that it looks good. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video.